Say before I started on this project, I wasn't really doing anything in terms of, driving change or trying to bring about change within the community group. I would notice that, why isn't anyone else my age here?
And I just feel for the long-term health of an organisation, you need, young blood in as much as you can.
So Youth-Led Local Development was a collaboration between 4 partner countries: Ireland, Portugal, Romania and Italy.
So I suppose where it came from is community groups were telling us that they couldn't get volunteers and maybe young people didn't want to get involved. At the same time, young people were telling us that they felt maybe that they weren't welcome or that they couldn't get involved. So this is trying to bridge the gap.
It was definitely an experience because there's a big cultural exchange as well as an exchange of work. We all met up, and even though we all came from different countries, we were all European Union citizens, so there was the whole thing of leader funding and things like that was common to us all. And just seeing how even though we were hundreds of kilometres apart, there was such commonality of trying to retain young people in community organisations and trying to get young people in the first place to come on and join projects.
I was actually really surprised at that we have kind of the same issues. But what's blown me away this week is the energy that coming together has brought, and it actually helps. A problem shared is a problem halved and all that. So the fact that we do all have the same issues, we're now all coming up with solutions to tackle the same issues.
The Youth-Led Local Development Inclusion Toolkit. And this was developed as part of the Erasmus Plus project, and it'll be presented as a practical aid in how community groups can integrate young people and young voices in their activities.
After this project as well, when we had to go back for the piloting part of it, I was sat down there with the chairperson of my community group, and when he was going through the document there just to get feedback, he was on the last page of there's a checklist there in the toolkit that we have provided, and he went through it and he was telling me how there's points on those checklists that wouldn't have even crossed his mind, but now he realises how important it is to consider those things. It just shows the impact of something you can do, and the way we all came together to make this document, and just hearing that one bit from out of all the feedback that he gave, I found that really, really empowering.
So the impact was that 32 young people across Europe now have increased capacity and competence to understand and contribute to CLLD. What is CLLD? Community-Led Local Development.
I'd say it's learning at its best because we learned from each other. We were actively involved in doing it ourselves rather than reading it off a textbook before we actually even did anything. So we were actively participating and learning it before we actually bring it home into our own groups. So I think learning at its best is what I call it.
A lot of the arguments when people consider why young people don't get involved is a fear of a lack of experience. But now we have this experience to say, look, I went and I did this thing, I am capable and I really want to be involved in a bigger way in the community.